the future. All right, man. Y'all ready to get into some team rankings?
Yes.
I love doing this through the quarter of the season. Get the first 4 games in. All right, where do we stack up? Where do we need to adjust? Where do we need to get better? I promise you, that's what the Packers coaching staff is doing right now on this bye week. So as we get into it, Packers team rankings through 4 games. Let's start on the offensive side. All right, scoring, points per play. All right, it's exactly what it sounds like, points per play. The Packers are currently sitting 12th. That's a dip from last year, right? We got 0.416 points per play, so we're just outside of the top 10. The last 3 games is at 0.379, so this last game is kind of inflating that number a little bit more at 0.506. So if you remove the Cowboys game, right, you're probably a little closer to the 20 mark. But again, it's a game we played, and they went out there and the offense balled out, in my opinion. So offense points per play, we are 12th in the league. Does that surprise you guys at all, seeing that the offense put up so many points? I know obviously they struggled against Cleveland. What do you think about that, Tim? How do you feel about the offense scoring so far, man?
Yeah, that Cleveland game kind of hurt us, right? Putting a 10 spot up there didn't help us. But it's also it's kind of tough because we've only got a 4-game sampling here. You know, I feel a little bit better about checking this again closer to that halfway point of the season to see where we are. But I mean, hovering around top 10 in any category is okay with me, 4 games into the year. But I am a little bit surprised that we're not a little higher on the list right now.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, what do you think, man? Scoring.
It doesn't surprise me. It's felt, obviously that Dallas game, the back half, we saw the scoring kind of seem effortless and what I wanted to see out of the offense, just smooth and fast. But it was a little bit tough the first couple of weeks. I wouldn't say it was, looked bad or anything, but it just seemed like we'd sputter out. Obviously that Cleveland game was just tough in general. But I think that's probably about where I would picture them, which kind of stinks because I would have envisioned them more like a top 5 offense after those first 2 weeks. And obviously we took a little bit of a pause and a little bit of some wrinkles, but I think we'll get back into it after the bye once we get some healthy guys.
Yeah.
Agreed. So let's look at the rest of the NFC North and where they sit. Detroit is second in scoring at 0.559 points per play. So they're sitting in the second mark. Minnesota is 7th. Okay, so they're both top 10, and Chicago is right behind us in the 13th spot. So you've got all of the NFC North teams hovering right around there, around the top 10. Detroit is right back on track. So again, what is the Packers' real defense? Is it the defense that dominated Detroit in week 1, or is it the defense that struggled against Dallas in week 4? I think it's all going to come down to adjustments moving forward for sure. So we'll just
struggled against Dallas and Ron Torbert.
Yeah. Right, boy. Don't get me started, Tim. See, that video blew up, and it's hilarious watching the Cowboy fans come in there and try to plead their case. I don't know how many screen grabs and videos we got to show you before you accept. Yeah, like if I'm the opposing team watching that tape and seeing hold after hold after hold that didn't get called, the defensive pass interference that didn't get called, the Dak Prescott intentional grounding that somehow didn't get called after they talked about it. I don't know, man. If I'm on the other team, I'm going, yeah, I see your point. Like, take the L, bub. Like, I don't know what else you need to see to agree with that. Ron Tolbert effect was alive and well, that's for sure. Let's move along to offensive rushing, okay? So running the ball. To me, this is the thing that's brought Green Bay down, right? This is the thing that's hurting us. When you look at yards per carry, we are 25th in the league, tied with Chicago at 3.8 yards per rush attempt, okay, yards per carry. Let's see where the rest of the North sits right now. Detroit is in the number 8 spot, tied 8th at 4.7 yards per carry. Minnesota is right behind them at 4.6. And again, Chicago and Green Bay clustered up there in the bottom third of the league. Jacob, we got to get this run game going, man. Now, the good news is this last game, obviously the last game against the Cowboys, we jumped to 4.7 yards per carry. So just the last game alone, if we had been averaging that through the rest of the year, we're a top 10 rushing offense. You can see that would put us in the 8th spot. And people will say, well, Dallas's defense sucked. Their run defense was actually 7th going into that game against Green Bay. So we got the run game going, although over the first quarter of the season, it's definitely been a struggle. What do you think, Jacob? Does that surprise you? What do we got to do to get this thing going, man?
No, it doesn't surprise me, and that's more what I meant about the offense sputtering. Is the run game just it seems like it's never, even when we were kind of cruising, it just didn't seem like what we had with Jacobs and even like Emmanuel Wilson. He was a little tentative. I liked what I saw the back end of the Dallas game. It looked like those guys were starting to break off some bigger runs. I think it all traces back to the offensive line, to be honest. It's tough to get any sort of fluidity and momentum when we're just playing musical chairs out there with these guys. And let's face it, the Packers have never been really quite known for their road grading run defense or run blocking. It's been kind of just one of the best pass blocking games, and we kind of just patch it and make it work with the run game. I was hoping that would change this year with kind of bulking up and getting a little more physical. But once again, it's hard when these guys can't stay, have that steady Eddie 5, and really get some continuity and playing together. I think last year they were together for almost the entirety of the season, and this year it's just been patchwork after patchwork. So I think that I'd have to, if I'm going to blame anything, I'd just say the offensive line not being able to stay healthy and their continuity is what I don't think it's Jacobs, that's for sure. I think that dude's running as hard as ever. It's just he's got nowhere to go.
I agree. And Emmanuel Wilson has looked as good as he has ever, Tim, to be honest with you, man. He took over there in the fourth quarter. Jason Weiss says run blocking's been awful except Kennard the last game, so maybe it picks up. I was going to mention that too, Tim. We don't have to talk about it specifically now, but remind me later, maybe tomorrow's show, we'll do a little deep dive into Kennard. He showed up to play in Dallas, but maybe he's a big reason why that run game got a little bit better. And keep in mind, we're going to get Zach Tom back. We're going to get Aaron Banks back, so that should help as well. We've been kind of playing defense on the offensive line ever since the season started, really back in the training camp, Tim. You've seen it firsthand. How many times were you at training camp practice and Aaron Banks couldn't go, right?
Yep.
And there were several other players as well. I mean, John Williams, 7th-round pick, albeit a 7th-round pick, but my man had to have back surgery before he even hit the practice field.
It's true. And we also didn't have our starting center out there until well into the process. Great. So, I think it is when you look at this rushing attack, it's an indictment on the offensive line. And when you're running a Matt LaFleur scheme, right, we see duo, we see pin and pull. It can get complex. We see a lot of, zipper motion, things like this, orbit motion. There's complexity to the offense. And if you don't have a consistent 5 out there on that O-line, it can be really difficult because all it takes is one guy to miss an assignment and the play is blown up. And if you've got 2 or 3 guys that, are blocking air, we're in trouble. And even a running back as great as Josh Jacobs, who I still believe is a top 5 running back in the NFL, there's not a whole hell of a lot he can do. And so I don't think it's Josh Jacobs or Emmanuel Wilson's deal here. I think it's this O-line. And, Marshawn Lloyd is going to be coming back into the fold here pretty soon. You talk about our stable of running backs and guys that we want to really see out there. I'd be a little nervous about running him behind this whole line that we've got right now until we get our guys back from injury.
Yeah, great point. All right, let's move along to passing. Offensive passing yards. Okay, so this is yards per pass attempt. We're 4th in the league, guys. Jordan Love. I still think there's a lot of Packer fans that don't understand just how good Jordan Love is playing right now. Like he is out-tracking Aaron Rodgers in his 3rd year. Aaron Rodgers was 27 years old. That's the year they won the Super Bowl. He is statistically outperforming Aaron Rodgers to this point. He's statistically outperforming a 27-year-old Brett Favre in 1996, the year they won the Super Bowl. Jordan Love playing outside of his mind right now. So yards per pass attempt as a team, the Packers are sitting in the number 4 spot at 8.3 yards per pass attempt. The only teams higher than them are the Baltimore Ravens, with obviously a former MVP there and Lamar Jackson, one of the best passers in the game. You've got Danny Dimes in Indianapolis playing outside of his mind at 8.9, and tied with him in Seattle is Sam Darnold at 8.9. Thank God the Vikings did not extend Sam Darnold, because I'm telling you, they would be dangerous right now, really dangerous. So
think about this. They also had Danny Dimes on the roster and let him walk.
It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely wild.
Just insane.
Yeah. So again, Green Bay in the number 4 spot, right? Now, what's crazy is the last game, they actually dipped a little bit at 7.8. So that 8.3 overall, obviously, is due to, the game at home, he had 9.1 yards, or the 2 games at home, he averaged 9.1 yards per pass attempt, he being Jordan Love. So really excited about what the passing game's doing. They're kind of carrying the water right now for the running game. We get that running game going and the passing game stays efficient, it's going to be game on. I think this is kind of telling. These stats go together. I don't want to take anything away from Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, and what this passing offense is doing, but it's showing you teams are loading the box and stopping the run. And Jordan's going, okay, we'll just beat you through the air, and I'll take exactly what you give me. I don't care to check it down like I do in Dallas. I don't care to throw it down the field when we need to, because you see the yards per pass attempt is it's I mean, top 5. What else could you ask for? Let's look at the rest of the North here and try to figure out where they're at. Minnesota's actually 8th at 7.7. Detroit's right behind them at 7.6. And Chicago's in the 14th, but actually tied for 13 at 7.2. So once again, all 4 NFC North teams hovering around the top 10. Green Bay definitely leading the way there. How do we feel about the passing offense here, guys?
O-line again, right? No, I'm just kidding.
And it's one thing I'll say, like, Tim, you bring that up. I heard people like bashing the O-line against Dallas. This O-line's a wreck. And I'm going, we ran the ball effectively, and Jordan only took 1 sack. Like, I thought the offensive line played good against Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I'm bringing that up as far as, drawing the connection between getting healthy again and getting a consistent, starting offensive line out there where, Jordan doesn't have to walk out there week to week with a different tackle or a different guard or new faces all the time, moving pieces. Although it's difficult to do that. It's the NFL. I mean, we could look across the league. I'm sure there are offensive lines that are just as banged up as we are, if not worse. It's part of the game. But I really do feel once we get those guys consistently playing together week to week, and we can kind of build that continuity both in the run and the pass game. But it's not a Jordan Love issue. This is gonna these numbers are gonna continue to rise. I feel like the same way I did the day we drafted him, that he was the dude. It's still a work in progress. And honestly, if you don't see the progress in Jordan Love's game, in these last 3 seasons in particular, then I don't know what to tell you, right? I mean, you just got to watch more tape maybe, or, take your eye off the ball, like Pat Kerwin suggests. Maybe look at what he's looking at. Great point that you made there, Clayton. Take what that defense is giving you. That's what the great quarterbacks do. And that's how you win ball games and keep moving the sticks. You're not always going to have a good passing attack. You're not always going to have a good running attack. Games have ebb and flow to them. And the great quarterbacks know how to read that defense, can out of a play, can into a play. Do what you got to do to exploit, whatever holes there are in that defense, because they can't cover everyone all the time, right?
Yeah, and I was cracking up at some of the fan reaction. It's literally 1 second. We need to throw the football. The next second, we need to run the ball. Like, what are we doing? We need to be more aggressive, throw the ball down the field, and then you turn the ball over or something doesn't go right on a 3rd and 3. You throw it down the field and it falls incomplete. Why do you not run there? It's like, it's so frustrating, man, to hear fans approach it that way, because the reality is, Jacob, we talk about it all the time, like, there's a reason that Matt LaFleur is calling the play when he's calling it. Like, I know people bash the hell out of him over that bubble screen at the end of the game. I thought it was the right call. Yeah. And what he was talking about is in that situation, they have a counter to that where they're running out and up. Like, they'll run like they're running a bubble screen, they cut up field. That would have been the time to call that play. But they've been playing it different all game, right? And this time, it just so happened that I think it was Diggs shot his shot, right? But if you go back and watch the tape, you can see they had the hat count. Now, what Matt LaFleur was saying, throw that ball away. You got to know the time, the situation. As Jordan, okay, they're not giving us what we want here, throw it away. But in Jordan's defense, you're looking at their pre-snap. You see a 2-on-2, which is a +1 hat count, counting the pass catcher, and he's going to have outside momentum to be able to get out of bounds. I understand why he threw that pass. The problem was, unfortunately, Romeo Doubs misses the block. It gets blown up. Now it's all of a sudden a mental mistake on Jordan Love. But anyway, Jacob, what do you think about the passing offense, man? This kind of feels like we're stepping into the same area, the same range that we've seen with Brett Favre at the age of 27 and Aaron Rodgers at the age of 27. It's like he's starting to, okay, we've got a true franchise quarterback here.
Yeah, I'm completely bought in. Let's take a step back and realize that this is now basically a quarter of the season sample size with Love, with an absolutely depleted and battered offensive line, with his number one wide receiver, I would consider Christian Watson, and if not his number one and number two, with Jayden Reed and Christian Watson having missed significant time, if not all the time in Watson's case, coming in and having two rookie wide receivers, and he's still, if you were to, kind of bring out the projection of what he's had now, he's going to have over 4,000 passing yards, around 30 tuds, and 4 interceptions. If you don't think that he is an absolute, I think, top 5 at quarterback in this league, where he could be making an MVP push, especially depending on when we get our guys healthy, when we get our weapons back, like Christian Watson. If even a guy like Jayden Reed can make a late season comeback, you add in the fact of our rookies gaining more experience, the offensive line starts having a little spine and gets healthy. This could be an absolutely scary and a deep playoff run. I think that we would be turning on. I mean, we talked about how kind of bummed we were to have a week 5 bye, and now it looks like an absolute blessing in disguise, giving us just the right time, just enough time to kind of get healed, get back, focus our attention on the next quarter of the season, and just play it, 1 week at a time. I think that they really do. I mean, to be completely honest, everybody in this chat, I'm sure, knows we should be 4-0. You know what I mean? We are a team that definitely, if we would have played the way that we know we can play, we'd be 4-0. And that can make you frustrated for sure. And I understand that. I'm frustrated about it, but I really do look at it in a positive way, that this team is still, I think, the top of the top potential of what could be one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. And since you talked about Jordan Love, what he's on pace for, the projected statistics right now, and this is through 4 games, a lot can change, right? Right now, if he keeps up the pace he's got, Jacob, he's going to finish with a 69.4% completion percentage. Guys, that's 4% higher than Aaron Rodgers' career completion percentage. Brett Favre in 1996, his completion percentage was 59%. So you're talking about a full 10% higher than Brett Favre's was in 96, where he won the MVP and they won the Super Bowl. But his projection, 69% completion percentage, 4,250 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. That is insane, dude. Those are MVP numbers, especially if he gets a little hot and you get closer to 40 touchdowns. And let's say it's 39 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Those are MVP numbers, no doubt about it. So really, really exciting stuff. So, all right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Well, first of all, if you're watching this video back, let me know in the comments what you think about the Packers offense and where they rank. Do you think that, are you overly concerned about the running game? Do you think they're going to get better? Obviously, they played Cleveland, one of the best run defenses in the league. Going into the season, everybody was talking about how good Detroit's defense is and how good Washington's defense is. Now, all of a sudden, we could be a little overly concerned about, is the run game in trouble or not, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not panicking at all. I'm not, because, again, Dallas had a good run defense, statistically speaking. I think it was 3.7 yards per carry allowed going into that game, which was 7th best in the league. And you just come out and you ran the rock just fine, in my opinion, especially later in the game. You stuck with it, and I thought that was awesome. How many times have we heard people complain that you just got to stick with the run? Matt always gets away from the run. He stuck with the run. Now you got fans on the other side saying we're not being aggressive enough. So you're never going to please the entire crowd, obviously. But let us know in the comments what you think. Are you concerned about the running game? What do you think about Jordan Love's chances of, forget the MVP specifically, I'm just saying MVP caliber play. I could care less about an MVP award. It's all about winning the Super Bowl, obviously. And I'm sure Jordan would agree with that. But let us know what you think about how the offense is playing. And make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to dive into the defensive rankings. I'm excited about it. So
nice.
Anything else you guys want to hit on here before we wrap up? Anything at all?
Beard? You got
I just like what Holmes. I like what Holmes said. He said they will be a top 5 offense and defense at the end of the year, barring injury. I agree with that.
That's what it's going to take to run at a Lombardi, right?
Yep.
You got to be top 5 in both of those categories in order to get it done.
And you got to be top 5 in takeaways, and that's something that hasn't happened yet. But like Coach LaFleur said, when it happens in spurts, right? It really just when it rains, it pours when it comes to turnovers, both on offense and defense. You got to control it on offense and just continue that momentum on defense, which, again, man, I think this defense is right where I was expecting them. It's crazy, too, if you go back and look in 2010 and in 1996, I think we lost week 4, both of those runs, and got our asses kicked, I think, in 1996 in week 4. It was at Minnesota. It was either week 3 or week 4 at Minnesota. Got boat raced in the Metrodome. and then they bounce right back. So they're gonna be just fine. But
I agree.
All right, let's get ready to wrap this thing up. Tim, man, tell everybody about the awesome charity that we're partnered up with here on PTA, man.
Yeah, Operation Horse's Heel, Westboro, Wisconsin's own. Big shout out to Rachel and her husband Rooster, doing a lot to help our veterans. This month, we're helping them raise some money to get a new truck and trailer so they can bring some of these activities directly to the veterans themselves. They have a nice property right now where veterans can go for horse-assisted programs. It provides space and environment to allow for their own kind of self-guided wellness journey. Bates, one of our first members to donate, is actually participated in a similar program. He can also speak to just what a great charity it is to support our veterans and active duty military and their family members as well. So if you can, every single donation is going to get you entered in on the prize wheel to get you a chance at a Rome jersey, Romeo Dobbs autograph jersey. So you can go to operationhorsesheal.org/how can I help, or you can scan that QR code in the upper right hand of your screen there.
Yeah, and also we got a bunch of people watching on X right now. If you want just easy access to get to that link as well, you want to donate to a great cause and get yourself entered into the Romeo Dobbs autograph jersey giveaway, just click on my X profile, and you'll notice pinned there at the top of my X page will be a tweet that I quote tweeted from Tim. So if you click on Tim's tweet there, you'll see the link right there. Click on it, and you can donate right there in that link itself. So again, Absolutely. This is an awesome thing. I've been learning about it. I had not heard about equine. I don't know if therapy is the right word to use, but this is a really, really cool thing. I didn't realize how popular it was. And as Bates pointed out, it's, how awesome. He says, yes, sir, it was awesome. All the vets I was with loved it. Really, really helps. You guys do a little research on it. It's a really thinking outside of the box rather than going and over medicating people and this and that. It's just, hey, let's get out there around some awesome animals. And it's just so cool to hear some of the success stories coming out of other organizations that are similar to Operation Horse's Heel. So
absolutely. Don't forget to put PTA in the comments when you make your donation so we can get you all logged in for your chance to win that Rome jersey, man. This is such a cool giveaway, Clay. Thank you so much for bringing that in.
No, like I said last night, man, my brother being a veteran before he passed away, him dealing with stuff, obviously being in the Persian Gulf and Operation Desert Storm and all that. It's just I know he's smiling down from the big football stadium above right now, going awesome cause. Glad that you're continuing to help veterans. So yeah, it's a white autographed Romeo Dobbs jersey, the away jersey from pristineauctions.com, certificate of authenticity, really cool piece of memorabilia. And I guess the least we can do to give back to the veterans who sacrificed everything so we can sit here in a free country and talk about a silly little game of football. So
true. Well said.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. If y'all would, hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. We'll be back tomorrow, most likely. Might have dinner plans. I'll let you know. Maybe we'll take tomorrow night off and reset and get into some more football talk on Saturday. What I'll probably do, since the Packers are not playing Sunday, is we'll probably do a live watch party. And I don't even know. Let's just take a quick glance. I love the fact that we got access to the schedule real quick. So let's see what's going on Sunday. So obviously the Packers got their bye. So a 9:30 a.m. game there with Minnesota at Cleveland, but obviously it's going to be overseas. So that's we can wake up and watch the Vikings play at the Browns.
I'd rather rip my eyeballs out.
I had fun rooting against them last week, Tim, as Pittsburgh. Aaron went up there and
that was cool. Yeah, that was cool to see.
Yep. And then you got a 4:25 kickoff, the Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. That should not be close at all, to be honest with you. The Bears are on a bye week. So what we'll probably end up doing is we might do another morning stream and jump in here right around halftime, maybe watch the second half of the game and just talk a little Packers as everybody kind of live watch along type thing. I know Jacob, that's Minnesota Vikings, his second favorite team, so maybe he'll jump in here with us. So
my wife says, wow, Tim, how do you really feel?
Yeah, no doubt. Tell us how you really feel.
Is it a secret that I hate the Vikings?
No,
oh, well, man. Not anymore.
All right. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, man. Go check out the charity there, Operation Horses Heal. And thanks to everybody who's already donated. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys and gals are awesome. We'll see y'all tomorrow or Saturday. Just look for the live stream. Once I get the stream created, we make a decision, I'll put in the comments. So just check back on the live stream link, and I'll let you know, hey, we're going to be going live tomorrow. And obviously, we'll update the date. So, Jake, appreciate your time, buddy. Good to have you back in here with us, man.
Of course. Go Pack, go.
All right, man. Everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack, go.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.